Now I'll go on to show the pen tool in Illustrator. This tool is probably the most important that you will use because it's the most effective in creating and manipulating shapes. Now although it's called a pen, it does work in a way that a pen doesn't. It isn't a free form kind of tool like the paintbrush is. Its primary purpose is to draw lines and curves. The technical name for the curve is the Bezier curve. But first I'll go on to show you how we create lines with the pen tool. So to get started, we select the pen tool in the tools panel, which looks like a fountain pen, and click upon that. Because we're going to draw lines, we'll also need a stroke colour selected with no fill. So if you look beneath the tools, you'll see that I have a black stroke with no fill. To do that, you obviously go to the swatches panel and select black whilst your stroke's selected. Now we can begin to draw lines. So with the pen tool selected, we click the left mouse button on the canvas, and this creates what's known as an anchor point. Clicking elsewhere on the canvas, we create another anchor point, and this creates a line between both. Clicking again with the left mouse button, this creates another anchor point and a line between. And clicking on the first anchor point and last anchor point, we see a circle next to the fountain pen icon as we hover over this anchor point. This denotes a closed path. So clicking upon this, we close the path and we create a triangle. Now a handy tool that you can use is the Smart Guide. I normally keep this on by default, but yours may be switched off. To turn on Smart Guides, we go to View at the top of the screen. In the drop down we have Smart Guides. Mine's already selected, I'll select it again. So with Smart Guides selected, we'll draw a triangle. Click into the canvas, we'll hold Shift to keep it on the 45 degree, and you'll see the guide at the bottom. There's a green line. So as we extend across, move the cursor, it shows us where the horizontal line is in comparison to the last anchor point drawn. So demonstrating this further, you see we get the green line on the horizontal, on the vertical, and there we have the intersection. Clicking on that, and then we close the path there. Now I'll go on to show you how the direct selection tool can be used to manipulate anchor points and lines. So select the direct selection tool, and if we click on the top line of this shape, or path as it's called technically, you can do this. Likewise, if we click a line down here, we can manipulate it out here. Or this line, we can manipulate this also. So we can change the shape to suit. And we can also click the anchor points and use those as a basis of manipulating the shape. There we have it. Now I'll show you something else we can do, but first I'll undo those changes back to its original shape using Ctrl and Z to undo. So there we have the original shape. Now I'm going to click the pen tool and hold, and it shows a flyout. I'm going to select Add Anchor Point. Using this, with the Smart Guides on, I can click on the path to add an anchor point. With the anchor point added, I can now use the direct selection tool to manipulate it as previously shown. So there we have it. And with the smart guides on, I can also align this to the anchor point at the bottom so that we can match the bottom. Or close to. So that's the add anchor point tool. Likewise, we can also select delete anchor point. With this selected, we can delete the anchor point that we've just added, and this will reduce it back to a horizontal line. Likewise, if we click on the anchor point at the bottom, this will give us a rectangle. So this covers the pen tool and its ability to draw lines and what you can do to manipulate the path using anchor points and subtracting anchor points.